greatest hits. It is another week of marvellousness and another classic album. But who's talking about it? It's Ashlea Tracey.
Hello, Marc.
Welcome back to the studios of Manx Radio.
Thank you so much. Weird and wonderful.
And I must
to
say,
be here.
don't worry, listeners in the Channel Islands, she hasn't defected. She's having a little time out. She will be back with you. You're not coming back yet, are you?
Not to Manx Radio, both
No.
not to the Channel Islands just yet.
Not just yet. Well, listen, fill us in. When did you leave Manx Radio?
I left Manx Radio on something like the 14th of June 2013. Not that it's sort of ingrained in my brain at all, but yeah,
2013?
6 years ago.
That's ridiculous.
6 years.
Honestly, it
I know.
does not. It does not seem possible. 6 years.
It doesn't feel like, I mean, a lot has happened in that time, but it also feels as though I could stroll back in through the front door of Broadcasting House here on Douglas Head and pick up where I left off in this kind of beautiful double life kind of way.
And we'd love you to do that. And we will.
Who knows? I'll have a word with the boss, but I'm loving being in Jersey at the moment, presenting
Well
breakfast.
done, because you've done wonders down there. Massive audience figures, great station. You've been doing breakfast. I mean, it's all been happening for you.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel really lucky that I loved being part of the Manx Radio family and took a punt going down there and it's kind of paid off, and it's slightly different, you know. I'm doing more the mandate sort of thing down there, but it's great, loving it, and smidge warmer.
Yeah.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that Jersey's got on the Isle of Man.
Yes. And how? Now, listen, you talked about going down there, but do you have a family connection with the islands at all?
Kind of, yeah. So my mum and dad are Glaswegian. Bear with.
Yeah.
And my dad went down there aged 19 as a painter just to go and work for the summer season. Loved it. Went back for Christmas. Ran into my mum, who he had been going out with, but then they went together. But Iris, come down. So Iris and Pete went down to Jersey and lived there for 10 years. And I was born down there. So I was born in St Helier in the old maternity hospital, which obviously helps when I've got this sort of northern accent and I show up down there and I'm on breakfast, and then I tell everyone, well, actually I was born here and my dad used to paint the Beau Rivage, which is in St Brellards.
So you got currency. You've got a bit of currency.
I've been really lucky that people have welcomed me the way that they have, and they're great
Well,
down
thank
there.
you for coming up here to
Thanks
do
for
this.
having.
It's wonderful to have you on our little feature here. Now, what have you chosen?
I have chosen an album. Now, if you'd have asked me in a month's time, if you'd have asked me 2 months ago, it could have been something completely different.
Right.
Arctic Monkeys, Arcade Fire. I love Stevie Wonder. Love him to pieces. The Beatles. I've got a thing for Level 42 at the moment. I hear they're playing in September.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be
Hopefully,
here.
there'll be one of them will be sat right where you are in a few weeks or months' time.
Do you
doing
think
the
they'll give
interview.
you a lesson in love?
I hope so.
I hope so.
I could do
But
with it.
For today... No, not at all. Today I have chosen Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Sir Elton John.
Stunning album. Stunning album.
What a piece of work.
I don't know if it's his biggest selling album. I haven't got my Google pages open.
I
but
believe it was pretty big.
it's massive.
Yeah.
And everyone just went, wow, because it just, I don't know, there's so many good songs. Now, obviously, now the challenge is what do you choose from it?
Well, I've binged on a lot of Sir Elton John of late because of the movie, and there's loads
wasn't that
of...
good?
So good. So good.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great. It was a bit off the wall at times.
Yeah. Well, it was a musical, not a biopic.
That's it. And
It was a proper musical.
I wasn't sure of that, so I was thinking Bohemian Rhapsody. It was going to be a sort of life autobiography, but it wasn't. And
I'm glad it wasn't just me that thought that song wasn't written then. I'm sitting there nudging Mrs. Tyley, say, that's all wrong. And then I realised...
It's in the wrong order.
and I thought, it's a musical. Okay, shut up. And it will be a stage thing, won't it? It's going to be huge.
But I mean, he's so connected deeply to the stage as well with Billy Elliot and all that sort of stuff. So I struggled with which tracks to go for, but I've kind of gone for the big hitters, the ones that everybody is going to know.
Get on with the first one, Ashlea Tracey.
So the first one is Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, purely for the line, Saturday Night's the night I like. There's something so perfect and so simple about it, and it's the absolute truth. Just what a brilliant song, and one, I put it to you, sir, that you won't be able to sit still whilst listening to.
Greatest Hits it is with me, Marc Tyley, and my special guest choosing tracks from her classic album choice is Ashlea Tracey.
Hello, Mark.
It's good to have you here. Honestly, I'm so glad you're here for the whole week. It'd be rubbish if you had to fly you back today.
I'll stick around.
Thank you. Now, look, we talked a little bit about your background and your sort of duality with, you hopping around the islands. If you had to live in one of them forever, as of tomorrow lunchtime, where would you be?
Oh, this is such a difficult question to answer.
I'm horrible, aren't I?
You are horrible.
You've got one choice. Go. Bang, bang, bang. There or here. There or here.
Well, my parents still live here, so
Yeah.
I come back all the time. But my boyfriend lives there. So I would just have to keep my foot in both camps. Do you know what would be great? Do you know what would be
Yeah.
lovely?
Go on.
Is a direct flight between the two, because you can only go via
Wouldn't
Manchester
it make
or
sense? I mean, we are the
Yeah.
Crown Dependencies. We should have a Crown Dependency airline.
It would be great.
Just buzz around.
So I'm sorry I can't answer.
Okay.
I know that's
No,
really
that's all right.
awful,
I'll let you off. No, I'll let you off. I'll let you off. It's
yeah,
fine.
love them both.
No, you're happy. I'm happy with that. Music. Let's go back to music. Do you play an instrument?
Do you know I learned how to play the violin at Anarchist School. In the multi-purpose room, and yeah, loved it. Yeah,
Do they still? Hello. If anyone at Anarcha School is listening, could you put a blue plaque up in the multi-purpose room? Ashlea Tracey played the violin here.
for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
I gave up because I got a little bit bored with it, to be honest, and I so wish I'd kept it up. But yeah, love learning the violin, but actually was involved in choir and used to be in the Chronic and all that sort of
yeah.
stuff. So yeah, music has been a huge part of growing up for me. My dad's always got the wireless on.
Well, good man, Mr. Tracey. Now, good about the music thing. I reckon that when you're young and you do an instrument, it sort of comes alive when you're playing with other people. Because the practicing, you got it's a bit boring. So the choir thing, bunch of mates. In a band, bunch of mates. It's sort of that you need that next step, I think. So had you got in a violin group or a little orchestra thing, it may have been different.
Still got a thing for violins, though, whenever
Yeah.
I hear them.
Good.
Still, yeah, deeply connected to an orchestra.
Yes,
Or live music. I mean, here at Manx Radio, we used to do lots of live sessions on Saturday Night Live and that sort of thing. Still love all of that.
I was listening to one of those the other day with you on it, and I was doing the engineering for it. The dear, lovely, sadly no longer with us, Catherine Crowe.
That was one of the
Yeah.
most special projects I have ever worked on in the 10, 12 years I've been in radio. It really was something, wasn't it? Because she sang that beautiful Lady Gaga song, which took on a whole new meaning, Edge of Glory.
I know.
And she spoke so beautifully and so powerfully.
What are those? What are those?
Goosebumps
I know,
right there.
I know. I just,
yeah, and it's something that we will always have, and I will never forget that. And she didn't need to give us that time. Her time was precious, and she carved that out for us.
If I can find that recording tonight, I'll play it a little later, Edge of Glory, because I think I've got it stuffed away somewhere. I'll find it.
There's something so honest in her voice.
Yeah, and it was Joe Ernest singing with her, I think. There was a
We had a few in, didn't
yeah, a few
we?
people in with her. Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Gosh, getting all emotional. It is the classic album feature with Ashlea Tracey. She's chosen Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and I'm delighted, absolutely delighted. Let's have our second track.
Well, I've gone for the title track this time. I haven't got the album with me. We added it to our collection recently. I spent a few quid on it actually after flipping through some old vinyls we've got one of those tabletop
Brilliant.
record players.
Yeah.
And I can see it now. He's got that bomber jacket on with his name on the back, those big glittery red heels, a la Dorothy.
Yeah.
And he's sort of stepping into the poster, isn't he? The Yellow Brick Road. And there's something beautiful about the idea of being on your own cloud. It's so cinematic, this story. It really takes you places. So that's why I've picked this one as my second track.
Should have listened to my own mind. You know you can't hold me forever. I didn't sign up with you. to the howling old island woods, hunting the haunted night town. Oh, I found the side of my future lies beyond the yellow brick road. What do you think you'll do then? I bet they shoot down the plane. It'll take you a couple of Accurate tonics to set you on your feet again. Maybe you'll get a replacement. There's plenty like me to be found. Mongrels who ain't got a penny, sniffing for tidbits like you. On the ground. So goodbye, yellow brick road, where the dogs of society howl. You can't plant me in your penthouse. I'm going back to my plow, back to the howling old island woods, hunting the haunted night town. Oh, I found the side of my future lies beyond the yellow brick road.
Marc Tyley here with Ashlea Tracey.
Hello again.
Oh, it's brilliant.
This is so nice.
It is lovely. Absolutely lovely to have you here. We've missed you.
Oh, missed you too.
No, we have. We've missed you all over the place, buzzing around, doing the programmes, sorting out sales, doing this, doing this. No, outside broadcast. Didn't we have a laugh on the outside broadcast?
Oh, we did a few. I remember coming to you and asking you one time as my boss, hey, do you mind if I do that bungee jump over there at the, Peel Country Show, whatever it was? Yeah, and it was a big fat no, but we used to have a laugh on those days.
I was only no. I couldn't afford to lose you. Head first in a cow field. It wasn't going to be very good.
Sounded like a great idea at the time, but I understand why not.
Cautious old Tyley there. This album that you've chosen was a landmark album. I mean, when you've got an artist like Elton John and that little bit of the window, we mentioned it earlier, Rocket Man, that part of his life when we saw it go and the destructive nature of that showbiz life, and somehow clawed his way through, didn't he?
He did. And I think it's part of that struggle that I think lots of people will really understand and love him for kind of coming out of the other end of, and has gone on to do so much in terms of giving back. He's a huge star, made loads of money, perhaps was away, even though he was very present musically whilst he was doing whatever he was doing. But then is back and is in full consciousness, and watched a documentary really recently about, the money that he gives to various charities and the support that he offers them just by being, part of their mission. So he is a very special person, I think, not only musically, but also being able to say, well, actually, let's talk about how we make a difference here, sort of thing. So I've got a lot of time for him, and he's been around forever. He has been around forever, hasn't he?
Forever. Yeah. And he was mates with the Queen Mother, apparently. They got on very well, and sort of things like that.
He had a lovely relationship with Diana as well.
Yeah, very special guy. And this album, just amazing. So let's have another track. What we're going to have tonight?
Well, speaking of Diana, Princess of Wales, I'm going to go for Candle in the Wind. It's such a sad song. So in some ways, I don't really like listening to it, if that makes sense. It's not one I choose. You have records where you go, put that song on. But whenever it comes on, it always does something to me. So many people, I think, will listen to it. I know it was originally about Marilyn Monroe, but so many people will listen to it and think, I completely understand and it resonates with me. I have a personal connection with that. But I just really remember hearing it a lot in '97 when the news broke about Princess Diana, and my dad knocking on my bedroom door and saying, "Come down, you need to come and watch the news," sort of thing. It's very, very vivid. And obviously that song has since taken on a completely new meaning.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Written for Marilyn Monroe, beautiful song, and yet suddenly the poignancy for Diana, it was rewritten, clearly.
Of course.
But it has this duality now that you'd never have known when it came out, that
Not-
it would ever have been about anyone else but Marilyn Monroe.
Well, absolutely. But I think that it can be about whoever you want it to be, which also makes it super special. So it would be a shame not to pick Candle in the Wind from this magnificent album.
Goodbye, Norma Jean. No, I never knew you at all. You had the grace to hold yourself while those around you crawled. They crawled out of the woodwork and they whispered into your brain. They set you on the treadmill and they made you change your name. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Loneliness was tough, the toughest role you ever played. Hollywood created a superstar, and pain was the price you paid. Even when you died, oh, the press still hounded you. All the papers had to say was that Marilyn was found in the news. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before your legend ever did. Goodbye, Norma Jean. Though I never knew you at all, you had the grace to hold yourself while those around you crawl. Goodbye, Norma Jean. From a young man in the 22nd row who sees you as something more than sexual, more than just our Marilyn Monroe. And it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the wind, never knowing who to cling to when the rain set in. And I would have liked to know you, but I was just a kid. Your candle burned out long before the legend ever did. Candle burned out long before the legend ever did.
I meant to say last night, Candle in the Wind, a Goodbye English Rose, the Lady Diana rewrite. I heard a very, very good story about that song because an artist who I'm very fond of and got to know a bit called Beth Nielsen Chapman, who is a wonderful singer-songwriter. I don't know if you know her work. Elton was touring, a big tour in America, and he didn't want to play it anymore. He wanted to rest it, but he wanted something powerful to replace it. And he asked this lady, Beth Nielsen Chapman, if he could borrow a song of hers called Sand and Water, which is about life and death and her own issues, because he loved it so much. So for a whole tour, he rested Candle in the Wind and sang one of Beth Nielsen Chapman's songs. And I'll play that song later this evening, Sand and Water. But isn't that... It was almost too much for him to carry on playing.
I can believe it, and I wonder if he still feels the feelings from that time where he needed to rest it every time he performs it, you know. And I'm sure there will be audiences disappointed that they didn't get to see it when they went to see him, sort of thing. But I completely understand. It's one of those songs that I think will last the test of time forever. Like lots of his music, actually. I mean, we're talking about Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. It was released in 1973, 13 years before I was born. I was a mere twinkle. But we're still talking about it.
It is quite extraordinary. And I can see those pictures of him in St Paul's, wasn't it? Was it Westminster Abbey or St Paul's where they had the funeral for Diana? Oh, gosh. She was married in St Paul's. Was it Westminster Abbey?
Sure.
Oh, I think it might be Westminster Abbey. Anyway, but I can see him sat there and I could feel his nerves because he knew the entire world. This was like him in the piano and he had to get it right. And bless him, he did a brilliant job, didn't he?
And I think he tends to get it right. Wherever he goes. I mean, he's played here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he came?
That was a wonderful, wonderful night. Extraordinary.
I had the best time. And you know, it was one of the first experiences I think I've had where the whole Tracey family came together musically. My dad loves the Eagles, loves guitars. My mum's a huge disco fan. You know, I was nearly 10 years younger, and so was my sister. So we all had really unusual, eclectic tastes. But he's an artist that we universally enjoy. We can all sit down, and I'm going to admit that very recently we've fallen back in love with him because of Rocket Man the film. But we've been putting it on the Alexa.
Yeah, get it on.
Alexa, play it. I won't go the whole way because
I will.
She'll change.
Alexa, play Candle in the Wind. Sorry. It's all started off. I love doing that. I do that regularly. Or, hey, Siri, can you play something? Very naughty.
I know.
You're not allowed to do that in the BBC, are you?
Well, I think you probably could, but it changes the station, so who would want to do that?
Yes. Hey, Alexa, play something only off Max Radio's Greatest Hits with Ashlea Tracey and Marc Tyley. Well, look, it's been an absolute joy having you back in our little studios here.
So good to be back. A real trip down.
It's lovely.
Memory lane.
What are we going to finish with off this great album?
Well, we're going to finish with the song that I thought he wasn't going to play when he was here in the Isle of Man. So he did quite a stripped back set, I remember, at Nobles. And he went through a lot of his back catalogue, songs from outside of this brilliant album, actually. But I was desperate to hear Benny and the Jets. Desperate. And I think everybody who was in close proximity to me, which was, 9,000 people, I think everyone knew that I wanted to hear Benny and the Jets. And I knew the flight was booked and Ronald's Way was staying open for him because he didn't stay. He flew out. And I just thought, he's not going to do it, is he? He is not going to do it. And then you hear that first note, that dunk.
Yeah.
And I don't know many other songs that you know from an iconic first note.
Probably that and Hard Day's Night by the Beatles.
Possibly.
Bang, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, there's great lyrics, there's a piano solo, there's high notes, you can sing along. It's like it was sent from space. There's just so many brilliant things wrapped up about Elton in this one song, and that's why I think it's my favourite of all of his and my favourite from this album.
Well, thank you. Good luck when you go back to the other place. All
Thanks.
right.
I'll be back. I'm back all the time.
And the Big Bamboo Club, whatever you're doing down there. We wish you all the best for the future. Superstar Ashlea Tracey. And thank you for choosing this album. This is Benny and the Jets.
Hey kid, shake and loose together. Spotlight hitting something that's known to change the weather. But I can't fight it, call tonight, so stick around. You're gonna hear a
Sir Elton John, Benny and the Jets, the choice of Ashlea Tracey, who was my guest recently on Greatest Hits, choosing tracks from the wonderful classic album Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Thanks again, Ashley. Lovely to have you back with us, even just for a while. And I thought I'd finish this podcast with that Beth Nielsen Chapman track, the one that Sir Elton decided to play in place of Candle in the Wind when he was on tour in America, and had sort of Candle in the Wind himself out, if you know what I mean. It's a beautiful song. So if you haven't heard it before, hope you enjoy this. This is Beth Nielsen Chapman, Sand and Water.
All alone, I didn't like the feeling. All alone, I sat and cried. All alone, I had to find some meaning in the center of the pain I felt inside. All alone, I came into this world. All alone, I will someday die. Solid stone is just sand and water, baby. Sand and water, and a million years gone by. I will see you in the light of 1,000 suns. I will hear you in the sound of the waves. I will know you when I come, as we all will come through the doors beyond the grave. All alone, I heal this heart of sorrow. All alone, I raise this child. Flesh and bone, he's just bursting towards tomorrow, and his laughter fills my world and wears your smile. I will see you in the light of 1,000 suns. I will hear you in the sound of the waves. I will know you when I come, as we all will come through the doors beyond the grave. All alone, I came into this world. All alone, I will someday die. Solid stone is just sand and water, baby. Sand and water, and a million years gone by.